I love the way Les Brown said it. He said, some people say no to things before they even know what they're saying no to. That's such a profound statement because as I speak with different people in different spaces, oftentimes their default response is no. Oftentimes their default response is to not take action. And that's why we as entrepreneurs, especially as the leaders in this space, we spend so much time trying to teach people trying to teach people how to be action takers, trying to teach other entrepreneurs how to develop a lifestyle of taking action and taking action quickly because we understand that there's so many opportunities that you're going to miss out on if you're not wired that way. And I'm sharing this because it's going to help you as an entrepreneur. But at the same time, I really do want you to tap on that link above. I really do want you to check it out and see. If it's not a good fit, then it's not a good fit. But I really believe that it's going to help your business. I really believe that it's going to grow your business because I've put a lot of time and energy and effort into building this thing. I've had a lot of great conversations with some incredible entrepreneurs to make sure we're covering those bases for you. And our goal here inside of Emixer is really to help startups hit their first $100,000 year and then set them on track to build on top of that year over year. And you say, well, why 100,000? 100,000 I found to be really, really that first milestone. Like that's the real place where you can say, okay, I'm an entrepreneur for real. Like I'm in this thing for real. I'm building it for real. This thing is actually moving, it's growing, it's progressing, and that's what we're helping entrepreneurs to do there inside of the office. And that's why we would love for you to come in and be a part. We would love for you to come in, check it out, join, and see what we're doing, see what we're building, see how we're helping entrepreneurs, and see how other entrepreneurs are building together with us. We're all helping each other. But with that, let's jump into traffic secret number 11, Facebook traffic secrets. This is all coming from Russell Brunson's book. I'm not going to pretend to tell you that these are my own ideas and strategies and tactics and all of those things like other people do. I really get annoyed when I go into spaces, into rooms on Clubhouse or even other spaces off of Clubhouse, and people are sharing content that came from someone else, but they're sharing it as if it's their own. And what happens is for the unsuspecting listener, they're attracted to what that person is saying, not knowing that what that person is saying is not their own. And so therefore they come in and they say, oh, wow, I like what Dominique is saying, not realizing that what Dominique is saying is not his own words. What you're really attracted to are the words that I'm saying, but those words are not mine. So in essence, you're attracted to whoever said those words versus being attracted to me as the person who's trying to actually lead you in a direction here. So with that, I just want to be clear that these tips, these strategies are from Russell Brunson from his book, Traffic Secrets. I'm not trying to stake claim to any of it. I'm not trying to say it's my own, none of those things. Let's get into it. Facebook has up to 52,000 different data points on all 2 billion plus of their users. I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize that they had so many different data points on all of their users there inside of Facebook. They track everything, literally everything that you do on that platform, which, by the way, is great for entrepreneurs like you and I. It is a gold mine for us because it allows us to dial in very specifically into who it is that we're looking for on those platforms. And we're able to capitalize on our audience and really target the right audience on those platforms. When a new platform is released, its founders reward people for using it by giving them free exposure. Now, over time, your free exposure lessens and you have to buy ads in order to get as much exposure as you did for free before. I love this because a lot of times people don't realize how that works. And it's so true. You know, when a platform is new, when it releases, it's brand new, the founders are going to do everything they can to support the people who are building the platform, the people who are contributing to the platform. We have to understand that as entrepreneurs, because when we step into a new platform, such as Threads, for example, you're going to have different groups of people. You're going to have some people that are going to say, oh man, let me see what Threads can do for me. You're going to have some people that are going to say, "Oh wow, it doesn't look like Threads is as exciting as it was promised to be." You're going to have some people who are going to say, "Okay, Threads is new. Let me see what I need to do here in this space to be able to make Threads successful," which will result in the founders of Threads wanting to help me help them. You're going to have some different people there inside of these new platforms as they surface. When approaching a new social platform, you want to ask yourself these three questions. What is the goal of the platform? What is the strategy that I can use to help the platform with its goal? And what are the tactics that the platform is rewarding people for right now? Those are the three simple questions that you want to ask yourself anytime you get on a new platform. And by new, I mean new for you. Anytime you get onto a new platform, you're going to ask yourself those three questions. And that's going to help to guide you as you are going along through that particular platform. Now, on Facebook specifically, one of the things you want to do, you want to start off with is finding the fan pages of your Dream 100. And then you want to obviously be sure to like and follow these pages. And whenever possible, find their personal page as well and try to send them a friend request and follow their personal profiles too. Sometimes they will friend you, sometimes they won't. But if there is a personal page, then by all means, reach out and see. Sometimes you'll be surprised at who they actually friend, and you may get an acceptance from that person, and that's just that much better for you, right? It puts you that much closer, it puts you in closer proximity. That way you can move about as you need to as an entrepreneur when it's time to reach out to this particular person, which we've talked about in previous rooms, how you actually cultivate that relationship, how you nurture that relationship with that influencer, and then how you would actually approach that conversation where they would be helping you. We've talked about that before. You don't just run into it and say, "Hey, would you help me with this? Hey, I would love if you could do this for me." All of those things, that is not the way to do it. We've talked about it. You just have to listen to one of the replays. But make sure that you are following your Dream 100. Next, you want to search for groups in your market and follow or join those groups. Specifically, join the ones that your dream customers are already congregating in. Let's say, for example, your business deals with hair products. Then you're going to want to go on Facebook, you're going to open up groups, and then you're going to search for groups that deal with hair care or hair products or whatever that your dream customers, they're already congregating in these groups. And you're going to see the different ones. You're going to see the amount of people in the groups. You're going to see the level of engagement in those groups. You're going to see all of those things. Facebook completely, it's very open that way. I appreciate it, especially as an entrepreneur. I appreciate the of Facebook, and that they just flat out say, "Hey, look, this group has 2,000 members in it. This one has 30,000 members. This one has 20 posts per week. This one has 2,000 posts per week. This one has 2 posts per week." All of those things are very helpful for me as an entrepreneur. The goal of your Facebook feed should be to master your market. Now, let me kind of explain what Russell Brunson means here when he says this. The goal of your Facebook feed should be to master your market. Everything that you see and everything that you're looking at in your feed should be related to what it is that you do. It should be related to how you serve people. It should have something to do with that. Your feed shouldn't be filled up with a bunch of random things that have nothing to do with nothing. The post that you see inside of your feed on Facebook should be from your Dream 100. It should be people that are in your Dream 100. And these posts are truly, they're giving you insight into what your dream customers want. Because the posts from your Dream 100, they're posting content that they know appeals to your dream customers. Therefore, when you look at their post, it's data for you, it's information for you, it's telling you something, it's telling you a story, and it's letting you know this is the kind of content that your dream customers are looking for. And when you use that properly, now your feed on Facebook actually is helping you to master your market, which is just brilliant the way that Russell Brunson lays this out here in his book, Traffic Secrets. Now, there are four areas of Facebook that you must master. Four areas that you must master. Number one is going to be your personal profile or your homepage, your personal profile. Number two is going to be your fan page. Number three is going to be your groups. And then number four is going to be Messenger. Now, as I'm going through this, I'm reading this, and I'm looking right now at this app. I'm on my phone. I'm looking at the app on my phone, and I'm realizing this is amazing. Like this for me, I'm excited when I see this because I know that I'm going to turn this around. As I'm speaking right now on this Clubhouse app, I'm in the room and there's no one else in the room at this moment. And the reason why that excites me is because I know that as I implement the very things that I'm teaching in this room right now, I know that the size of this room will grow. And all of a sudden, one day it's going to be 10 people in here, then 20 people, then 40 people, then 50, then 100. And it will just continue to grow because I'm implementing these strategies. Get excited. I'm telling you, this is going to be so powerful. And I honestly love seeing these real numbers in real time. This is happening in real time, and I love it because I can track this, right? I could easily show somebody in the future that hey, these are the kind of rooms that I was having at one point because I didn't know these strategies. I didn't know these tactics. I didn't know these systems. I didn't know these things. But now that I know them and I'm implementing them, look at the difference it's making in my impact. All right, let's continue. Facebook doesn't want your personal page to be for business. Therefore, your personal profile should not be a hard pitch for anything. That's a huge mistake I was making because initially I was under the impression that my profile was more or less my business card, and my business card needed to tell people everything possible. I saw it as my opportunity to be able to convince somebody that I'm somebody worth working with, and at the same time, it needed to point them in the direction of how to work with me. Sort of like a business card. You know, on a business card, you have the phone number, or you have the website, or you have the email. And it clearly points to what your next step would be. But what Russell Brunson is saying here is that on your profile, there shouldn't be a hard pitch for anything. There are three elements that you want to pay close attention to on your profile. The first one is going to be your cover photo. And with your cover photo, it needs to be a clean photo. I was going to say it needs to be professional, but it can depend on what it is that your business is. It needs to be industry, I guess I would say industry relevant photo. If you are a comedian, then it would make sense for you to have a picture of yourself doing something comical. However, if you're not a comedian and you are a chiropractor, then it doesn't make sense for your profile picture to be something comical. It needs to make sense with your industry. If you're a speaker, you need to have something that's professional. A good, clean profile shot is going to work best for you. But whatever it is, just make sure that in the industry it actually fits, it actually is relevant and makes sense. Also, this was a big one that Russell pointed out in the book. Do not put a CTA on your cover photo because it instantly screams marketing or sometimes spamming to the algorithms. The algorithms tend to err on the side of caution, if you will, if we could say it that way. I'm pretty sure that's how Facebook would say it. Obviously, we as entrepreneurs wouldn't say it that way, right? We're just extremely zealous. We're extremely opportunistic. We're ambitious, and we see it as just making it easier for our customers to find us. But the way Facebook and their algorithms see it is this person is trying to spam people. We don't know the validity of this person. We don't know where this website goes. We don't know anything. And therefore, we're going to be very cautious with how many people see this. Because if we show it to 5,000 people and 1,000 of those people go there, they click on the link or whatever the case may be, then we as Facebook, we're not being socially responsible because we're just allowing anybody to come in here and tell people that they should click on these links, and these links are taking people to bad places. And therefore, Facebook says, well, we'll just err on the side of caution. Since I don't know, I won't show it to that many people. I'll only show it to like 10 or 20 or 100 maybe. And that's shot me in the foot over the years because previously I thought, once again, being the ambitious entrepreneur, I thought that this was just a great opportunity to make it easier for people to find me. If I put my CTA right there, hey, get a free ebook. Hey, get a this, get a that, do this, click here, all of those things. I was thinking that it was actually beneficial for the the prospect. I I never knew. I never asked myself those three questions. I never even knew the questions to ask. But there was never a point in the beginning where I stopped and asked myself, what is the goal of this platform? Why does Facebook even exist? What is Facebook trying to do? I never asked myself, what strategy can I use to help Facebook reach its goal? Think about that. Like, have you ever really asked yourself, What strategy can I use to help Facebook reach its goal? Total game changer. Completely changes the way you look at Facebook, the way you approach Facebook, or any other social media platform for that matter. What are the tactics that the platform is rewarding people for right now? Never asked myself that question. I never sought to find that information to see, okay, well, what are the behaviors and the tactics that other people are doing on here that Facebook is actually rewarding them for? Those tactics are going to be the ones that are helping Facebook to reach its goal. Never bothered to look into any of that. And therefore, Facebook and its algorithms have not been working in my favor. But we're going to turn that all around. We're going to change all of that here. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the results. Now with your post, look at them as conversation starters. When you're posting on Facebook, you want to have a good hook and a good story and a good offer. Keep in mind with your offer that it doesn't always need to be an offer to sell something. Your offer could be something as simple as click like if you agree, or comment one below if you agree, or things like that, where you're not necessarily offering someone a product or service or something, or hey, get my free lead magnet, all those things. It's not that kind of a call to action or that kind of an offer, but it's still encouraging the reader to do something, to take some kind of action with you. Now, Russell Brunson says that with Facebook, just like with Instagram, he uses the JK5 method, which means he's putting things into categories. He's putting his posts into 5 different categories, 5 specific buckets. That way he can rotate them throughout the week. If one of his buckets, for example, is family and another one is entrepreneurship, then he's able to rotate out his post accordingly there on Facebook. That way it's not all post about one thing. He'll post about several different things throughout the course of a week. Excuse me. He'll post about several different categories throughout the course of a week, and he'll rotate them week after week. And that gives his audience a more well rounded perspective of him and his brand. Facebook often penalizes personal posts with links that take users off the platform. Therefore, put the link in the comments for better reach. I've heard this said several times. I'm 100% convinced that it's true because I've heard it so many times by so many leaders. But if you're putting this was another thing I used to do, just didn't know, completely oblivious. But I used to put the link because when you put the link in your actual post, excuse me, when you put the link in your post, then it creates a thumbnail for you in the post, which I thought looked pretty cool. In my opinion, it made sense. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, wow, this is great. This is visually appealing. People are going to click on it and they're going to go straight to wherever I'm wanting them to go. The only problem is that strategy does not benefit the goals of Facebook. And therefore, the algorithm says, well, we're not going to show a bunch of people this post because this post is going to actually take them off of Facebook. And we don't want people leaving Facebook. If you're going to put a link in your actual post, it needs to be a link to another post or page inside of Facebook. Those the algorithm will favor. Those types of posts, the algorithm doesn't mind because you're still keeping them on Facebook. But if you're trying to put posts on Facebook with the links in the post that are going to take people off of Facebook, then the algorithms are going to frown on that. And you're not going to get as much reach or as much impact as you're hoping for with that post. As people comment on your post, be sure to spend some time replying to those comments. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people not reply to comments. They'll drop a post and they I guess in their minds, they're thinking it was this mic drop post. I'm the man, I'm the woman, I'm out of here. All I'm going to do is just drop some amazing great nuggets and everybody's going to love me and I'm out. They're just going to all follow me and be my fans and that's I'm going to blow up. And that's what I guess they're thinking because they don't bother to go back to their comments and see, did anybody actually reply? Did anybody actually comment on this post? If they did, then it's probably deserving of my acknowledgement. Whether I'm going to react to it or whether I'm actually going to reply to their comment, it's deserving of something. Somehow I need to engage back with that person who engaged with my post or comment. But that wasn't something I was doing in the beginning. And I see a lot of the entrepreneurs making that same mistake of not actually going back, taking the time to reply to other people's comments on their post. Now, here's an interesting point that Russell shares that is probably, well, for me, it was news. I've heard both sides of the argument in the past, but Russell Brunson, and for those who are not familiar with Russell Brunson, he's the co-founder of ClickFunnels, and ClickFunnels right now has over 100,000 um, paid subscribers. Now, ClickFunnels' smallest package at the moment is $97 per month. If you did some quick math, you got your calculator out, or you sat down, used your fingers and toes to count, then you would find that 100,000 users at $97 per month comes to $9.7 million per month. I'm sharing that because Russell Brunson is obviously doing something right. He's credible. He's proven. He's been doing this for years. He didn't just do this last month and now people he's trying to sell this idea that may be around tomorrow and it may not be around. He's been doing this for several years. He's proven, he's credible, he's established. And therefore his advice is credible and it can be trusted. Now Russell Brunson says you need both a personal page and a fan page. Both a personal page and a fan page. Your personal profile is where you'll get free earned traffic, while your fan page is how you're going to get the paid traffic. That's where you're going to buy the traffic, is on that fan page. And that's why you need both of them. And he does it so masterfully, especially at this point. It just looks effortless when you look at it. But if you ever get a chance, go back and look on Facebook and search. You could search for Russell Brunson, and you'll see both of his pages are going to pop up, both his personal page as well as his fan page. They're going to both come up. And when they do, you can look at the two. You can compare the two and see what the differences between the two pages. Now, when posting on your fan page, a good test to see if a post is worthy, to see if it should be on your fan page, is to ask yourself, would I spend $10 to $20 to boost this post? That's going to be one way for you to determine whether or not it's fan page worthy? Would you spend $10 to $20 to boost this post? There are four things specifically that Russell and his team post on his fan page. And those four things are produced value videos, live value videos, live perfect webinars, and then curated content from other platforms. I want to go through those in a little more detail here before we move on to the next point. Produced value videos are videos with a good hook and story, but no offer. There's no offer at the end of these videos. These videos are more geared towards branding. And what's interesting about these videos is that these videos are more likely to see likes and shares. And primarily that's because people are inclined to like and share posts that don't have an offer. For one reason or another, the psychology of people, if there's an offer on your post, then a person is less likely to share that with other people, whether it's because they don't want to seem like they're endorsing you, whether it's because they don't want to feel like they're helping you, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is people are less likely to react to and share out posts with an offer or a CTA. However, if you're posting something and it just has a great hook and a great story with no CTA, then people can share that. People are more likely to share that with friends and family and those sorts of things because it's, I guess, in their minds, they don't see any strings attached to it. And it makes it easier for them to share it out. Now, with live value videos, it's the same thing. It's just not produced. It's not pre-recorded. And these are aired live. You're recording these videos live in the moment. But once again, great hook, great story, no offer. Now, with live perfect webinars, the key to these, and I want you to really pay close attention to this because this is so important. The key to the perfect webinars, live perfect webinars, is that you've been providing great and in some cases massive value on a consistent basis over a period of time. It's very important because so often when somebody does a webinar and one person shows up or no people show up or two people show up, people wonder why did the webinar flop? Why didn't it succeed? Why didn't we hit the numbers? It's because you haven't been consistently providing value content over a period of time. When you do that, you start to build an audience. You start to attract an audience. And by attracting and building that audience, then you have more people who want to hear what you have to say for something like a webinar. They'll sign up for it at that point. And this is an area that a lot of entrepreneurs, myself included, we skip because we want to go straight to the big numbers at a webinar. That's all we are interested in. We're just looking at, okay, if I do a webinar and 200 people show up, even if I did 10%, that's still selling 20 at $100. That's $2,000. And we could add numbers in our head and all those things, but the question is, how do you get 200 people to your webinar? And if you haven't been doing the work on the front end, then you won't see 200 people at your webinar. The last one is the curated content from other platforms. And what Russell does is he takes content from his other social networks that are getting high engagement, and then he'll post it on his fan page in Facebook. Then he'll take that and he'll boost that content with $10 to $20, which is brilliant to me. Now, group strategy. Group strategy on Facebook. Facebook actually wants people to build groups. Groups are your own personal parties, if you will, and it's a social place for your people to gather and hang out and talk. Groups is also going to be a great way for you to get more traffic in the future. If you're building out your group correctly, you're going to get more traffic from that group that you'll be able to retarget later. Now, mind you, as we've talked about before in the past, this traffic at this point is earned traffic. They all belong when your group is happening there on Facebook. Facebook still owns that group. What you're going to want to do with that group is figure out a way to move them off Facebook and into your list. There's a messenger strategy as well. With Russell and his team, what they're doing is they actually use bots for this strategy, which makes it a lot easier. It is an expense, but it makes it easier. If you can afford to do bots, then go with bots. If not, then you're gonna need to do it manually, which it can be done manually, but it is just a little more labor intensive, and you just have to be prepared for that. What Russell and his team do is they try not to send more than one message per week inside of Messenger. And they typically try to create engagement with that person before a link is sent. And the way that they do engagement, the way that they build up engagement is just a simple, and this is all through the bot. The bot will send out a message on Messenger, and it may say something such as, "Are you still building a business? Yes or no?" And then the person will click yes. And then the bot will respond based on that answer. Excellent. We're still helping people build businesses, or I'm still helping people build businesses. What would you say is your greatest challenge right now? And then it's going to give some options: finances, contacts, or implementation. And then the person will click on one of those three choices. And that's engaging. Now, the person who's clicking on these choices, they know that they're engaging with a bot, but at the same time, it's warming them up for future messages from the bot. So that when Russell sends another message later, they're a little more inclined to participate and say, okay, yes, I will respond to this bot that just sent me a message on Messenger. That's what they're using there. Now, there are three core ways you can grow your Messenger list using these bots. On your fan page, you can have Messenger pop up to start a conversation. And you've probably seen this on Facebook where you'll go to someone's page, their fan page or business page, and then right away there's the messenger window that pops up. And it may say something like, send Dominique a message now, or Dominique is available to talk now, or something along those lines. Well, you can set that up to where it's a bot so that when the person actually types inside of that messenger, they're going to get a response from your bot. The second way that you can do this is on your landing page itself. When you're building out your funnel, your website, you can actually put it on your landing page where there's a select box where people can add themselves to your messenger list. And it's just like just a little box there. Um, on that landing page that says, "Hey, let's keep in touch," or something along those lines. Let's stay connected. Those sorts of things. Let's connect on Messenger. Those sorts of things. And when they select yes, or when they opt in to connect with you on Messenger, once again the bot kicks in, and the bot instantly sends them a message on Messenger, something to the effect of, "Excellent. Thanks so much for connecting with me here on Messenger." And it may have a question after that, or, There may be a wait period in there. It just depends on how you build out your journey for your customer, but the bot will kick in at that point automatically. And then the third way is to create a lead magnet and leverage your fan page to grow your messenger list. And one of the ways that we're seeing people do this is when people comment with a certain keyword, the bot will automatically send them the lead magnet as well as add them to your list. And once again, you may have seen this from others where it'll say, hey, send me a message on Messenger with the word go. Just send me one word on Messenger, go, and that'll let me know that you're in. And then when you send that word go on Messenger, boom, the bot automatically kicks in, adds them to the list, and it begins engaging with them however you have your bot built out. Once again, keep in mind that list is not your own. You're going to want to always make sure that you're looking at ways to take that list and make it your own. Make it a list that you can own, because when you own that list, now you can market to them, you can communicate with them whenever you need to, however you need to. If the platform crashes, if it goes down, if it goes away completely, no matter what, you can still reach out to your audience because you own that traffic. Couple of more points here, and then we will wrap up for this morning. When publishing to your messenger list, you want to start by getting them to interact with you or your bot. And we've talked a little bit about that, how you can ask those simple yes or no questions. You can ask those multiple choice questions, and that gets people engaging and interacting with your bot. When selecting groups to join, remember that your goal is to get access to at least 1 million people through the groups. Therefore, you're going to want to seek to join larger groups. This obviously can vary from one business to the next, from one entrepreneur to the next. For Russell, he's just kind of setting that as kind of the standard, kind of the middle ground, the average. If if you are looking to put 1 million people on your radar, if you will, then you're going to need to join the bigger groups. I understand. I know the arguments about, well, the bigger groups, you don't get seen, you don't get heard, all those things, so on and so forth. I totally get it. That's why I'm saying, depending on what your business is and what your objectives are, what your goals are, what you actually do, it could vary. But here for this book and for this room and what we're doing, what we're covering, we're going to go with the 1 million. And we're going to say you want to try and get into the larger groups, because with the larger groups, you have more people to pull from. If a group has 80,000 members in it, then you come in, yes, you're a drop in the bucket. Completely agree, completely understand. But because of the sheer size of that group, when you post something in there, you're more likely to get 50, 100 or so reactions or comments versus you going into a 200-person group, you post the same thing, and you may get one comment or response from the admin. That's where the numbers start to come in. Because as you're building your business, as you're building your company, you're going to want a larger audience. The larger your audience is, the more people you can impact, the more people you can influence, the more people you can serve, because you're putting your product or your service in front of that many more people. And that's why we're looking at the larger number versus the smaller number at this time. Now, once in the group, you're going to want to visit the group daily and find the questions that people are asking that you already know the answers to. And when we look at this idea of these groups specifically, and you go inside of these groups on a daily basis, there are going to be questions in there. People are going to ask questions, people are going to make comments. All of these things are going to be happening inside of these groups. And remember, the group isn't there to serve you, you're there to serve the group. But when people ask a question, you're going to look for the ones that you actually know the answers to, the ones that you could actually solve, the problems you could actually solve. And you're going to write a value filled post in response to those questions. And I love the word choice that Russell used here, value filled. It needs to be a post that's filled with value, not just any random post. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, like, yeah, that's a response, but there's no value in that response. It needs to be a value filled response to that question. No pitch. You don't put, well, let me share the five secrets that I've learned, and then at the end of that, to learn the other five secrets, text me at this number and all these other things. You don't do all of that. You just drop the value. Don't don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to buy anything. Just drop massive value, and then that's it. Give it out for free, and then that's it. You must be willing and able to consistently serve others, giving to them without withholding, without withholding, which again is so different from what I was under the impression of previously, because I was under the impression that I needed to give a little and withhold a lot. And that way, when someone would come and they would see the little, they would say, "Oh, wow, if he has this much wisdom and knowledge and value to offer, then what else can I get if I go to him?" And then that's where I was supposed to share the massive value, right? But that's not what Russell and so many others, that's not what they're doing. And you look at Russell Brunson, you look at Gary Vee, you look at Tony Robbins, you look at Dean Graziosi, you look at Les Brown, you look at Brian Tracy. I mean, we can go on and on. You look at all Marie Forleo, you look at all these different people. They're dropping massive value on a consistent basis, and they're not withholding any. If they're withholding anything, you wouldn't even know it, because there's so much that they're giving. There's so much value that they're giving. And this is where I began to learn the difference between someone who truly has value and someone who does not have value. Because the person who truly has value, their vault of content is there's no room to put anything else in there. It's like it's so jammed packed with content that they're not worried. They're not sweating about giving you this, sharing this thing with you. They're not worried about it because they have so much content to share that they know they can give you 10 things of content for free, and they still have that much more value to add to you. Whereas so many other entrepreneurs, if I give you 10 things for free, in in the average entrepreneur's mind, they're thinking, man, I don't have anything else. I just gave you everything I have. Those 10 things was everything I have. This is why we have to seek to build up our content, get more content out, put more content out for others to be able to consume. Try to reply to at least 3 questions per group per day. 3 questions per group per day. If you're doing that, that's going to begin to build your influence. Now, this strategy obviously takes some time, but with consistency, you will see more and more people who will want to hear from you and will want to engage with you. And that's going to build your Facebook following, your Facebook influence, And the great thing about that is it transfers over. One of the things that I like about Meta, and we saw this demonstrated beautifully with Threads, the fact that all of these different platforms coexist under one umbrella, it makes it so easy for your Facebook followers to become your Instagram followers, to become your Threads followers. They're all interconnected. And if you can grow your audience on Facebook, I'm confident that with little to no effort, you're going to grow your audience on IG as well. And from there, you'll grow it on Threads just because you're growing on Facebook. That's why this is so powerful. Now, next week, we're going to cover Google traffic secrets. That is secret number 12. We're going to go through that together here in the room. We're going to be back here live next Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time every Tuesday. We open up this room and we have this conversation. Once we complete Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson, we're going to start on our next book. But for now, we still have a few chapters inside of Traffic Secrets that we're going to cover. And next week, we'll do chapter 12. Depending on the length, we may do 12 and 13. I'll see how long that one is, but we'll cover 12 for sure on next week. I want to once again invite everyone, if you haven't already done so, tap the link above for the office. We want to see you inside of the office. I'm telling you, it is amazing in there. It's so much fun. As entrepreneurs, it's one thing to be able to build and grow our businesses, but it's something totally different when we can do so and have fun at the same time. It's not a situation where you're dreading it and you're thinking, oh, wow, I have to wake up and I have to make these calls. I have to do this today. I have to send out emails. I have to do this and that. And it's this thing where it feels like you're toiling over it. And we don't have that experience inside of the office. We make it fun. We make it interactive. We make it engaging. We make it an experience that you can enjoy, something that when you're done at the end of the day, you're smiling about it. You're excited about the work that you put forth. You're excited about the results that you've seen. You're glad, you're thankful, you're happy about all of those things. And you're thinking, wow, you know what? This was amazing. I can't wait to do it again tomorrow. That's what we're building inside of the office. And we would love to invite you to come and build with us. Listen, champions are here, and I believe that you are a champion as well. My name is Dominique. It's been great speaking with you today. Have a great rest of the day. Have an amazing week, and I look forward to seeing you back here again on next Tuesday. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.